Well, this is that time of year. We're going to start seeing those temperatures rise slowly, getting hotter and hotter by the day. And, you know, if you've lived here a long time, you know what to expect. You get used to it. But we've got people moving here every month, every year. And they don't realize, especially because it's drier here.
Yeah, and so they're perspiring, not realizing it because the perspiration evaporates immediately, and they could get dehydrated and get in serious trouble in our desert. The temps today going to be close to 100 degrees. You know, and as you said, we're used to it, but a lot of people that come from back east are not. They get lost in the desert and they perish. I mean, I'm talking about dying.
It can be very, very serious.
So Diane Ryan is live in Mesa with ways to beat the heat. Dee?
Hey, that's right. Good morning, guys. You know, every time I'm out, especially in the heat when it's over 100 degrees, people wonder, why do I wear a long sleeve, a t-shirt? It's cotton. And that's because it does actually keep you cooler. And I'm not the only one that's saying that. So is Captain Forrest Smith, and he's got long sleeves too. And you said you always wear these out. These definitely do help you keep cool.
I sure do. And a lot of times when you see city maintenance workers, construction workers, a lot of times we are wearing long sleeve shirts because that does help us keep cool. It helps us also protect ourselves from the sun here. So really, we try having these barriers of protection, sort of like long sleeve shirts, also using sunscreen and such. We want to do all we can to make sure we protect ourselves. And I think a lot of Arizonans are aware of that. Where we run into a problem is a lot of times where you have people new to the valley who are adjusting to our sun.
That's right, and what we're looking at right here, this is what you call your rehab truck, and this is what you bring in every time the firefighters are out there fighting a fire to kind of keep them cool down.
That's exactly it, because what we have to do, and like many of your viewers at home, is that when you're working outdoors or exercising, you have to work in cycles. And so what we want our fire paramedics to do is that when we're working a fire, you work hard, then you come out, then you need a place to be able to replenish and rehab. So at home, what your viewers would want to do is the same thing. You have fluids ready to rehydrate, you have electrolytes, and then we have this bucket right here. What you can do is stick your forearms in there, and that allows you to cool your body temperature really quick.
And so if you're out working in the garden or something like that, or just in the garage, and you feel like you're overwhelmed, this is a good way to do it. Then just plunge your hands in there.
That sure is. What you do is you put your forearms in there and you hold it in there for about a minute. Now, I talked to your doctor to make sure it's good for your heart, of course, but what you can do is put your arms in there, hold it for about a minute, and it actually cools your core temperature. So it's not a thing of just having a mister to cool your outside, but you can find a way by doing that, it will cool your temperature. And that's something that our medics do as well when we give cold saline fluids to people who have medical emergencies as a result of heat injuries.
Now, does it matter what kind of fluid you're drinking? I know you were talking coffee is probably not a good idea when it's really, really hot.
Right, yeah. Items like coffee, sodas are diuretics, and so they tend to draw that water out and dehydrate you. So we recommend to our crews, as well as to your audience, to stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water the night before, and walk around with a gallon of water and a jug of water and drink that, because remember, our bodies are made up of about 60% water. So as we start to lose that water, as Arizonans, we are inherently dehydrated. So we have to stay on top of that, keep ourselves hydrated.
And one of the things we noticed here in your rehab truck, you have a lot of shade here too for those firefighters to cool off on the shade along with your misters.
Yeah, exactly, because when we're fighting fires, you don't actually have shade out there. So what we have to do is provide that for ourselves, gives us that extra protection. And just like your viewers would want to have, when you're working, have those work cycles, get out of the sun, out of that direct heat, and give yourself a break.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking to us. I appreciate all those good tips. And another thing that we didn't mention is hats. If you are out there in the desert, if you're out there working, wear a hat to protect your face and keep you cooler.
Yeah, always good information, and it's always good to revisit it as we start to approach those summer months.
Yes.
Thanks, Dee.
And of course, one of the most important things is to keep hydrated.
Yeah. The minute you actually are thirsty, you've probably already gone too far. Yeah.